Welcome in once again, everyone. My name's Gabriel. You're watching Drum Tip Tuesday, and today's a little special. We have 500 subscribers now, and so we're doing a lesson about drum fills in 5. We're going to think 5 all day long, all right? Starting with our basic snare drum warm-ups. Usually you might do something called 8 on a hand, as 1/8 notes, or one hand, then the other. We're going to do 10 on the hand, obviously because 5 quarter notes to the bar, 2 1/8 notes to the beat, 10 1/8 notes. Let's now go further into that and do some sort of accent tap exercise. The reason for doing this is that we're going to start to incorporate musical phrasing. Don't want to go on too long with mindless practice. Always want to get the mind in the muscle. That's what we work on here. And the most popular songs in 5, I find, seem to have 2 groups of 3 and then 2 groups of 2. 5/4. Not 5/8. That's why I'm saying 2 groups of 3 and 2 groups of 2, which equals 10 or 10 1/8 notes. So it doesn't matter if it's Mission Impossible, bum bum ba dum bum bum ba dum, 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2, right? Or Take 5, da dum da dum da dum da dum da dum da dum, 2 sets of 3, 2 sets of 2, and then there's There's an album, 10 Summoner's Tales, 7 Days. That's why I couldn't think of it. It's called 7 Days. It's actually in 5. Kick drum, 2 sets of 3. Snare drum, 2 sets of 2. It's kind of how that beat works. So let's warm up that way. Now, let's fill in. Let's take some rudiments. Let's take paradiddles and paradiddle diddles. We'll just assign the value of the 3 to the paradiddle diddle and assign the value of the 2 to paradiddles. And when we do that, we get something like this. Once again, music's down here, and here we go. That kind of vibe. Now I know I'm not slowing this down a whole lot. The thing is, we got a lot to cover because we got to put some of this stuff on the drums. So I'm just going to get through it quickly. The music's down there. You can slow it down as much as you want. You have this time reference here. Moving on. 2 bars. And let's do it this way. Let's do it the more interesting way so we get more interesting phrasing in it. We'll just clump the sets of 3 and 2 together like this. I always thought that's kind of a neat vibe when you do that. It starts to make more sense when you play it on a kit. It gives you more interesting phrasing. Speaking of which, this is kind of extending things a little bit, getting a little fancy here, but let's do it. We've got time. We played a single bar phrase in 5. We played 2 bars. Let's take a lot of threes, and cycle them over a 4-bar phrase, ending with paradiddles. Now, this makes for a really cool exercise which switches itself to the left hand, which is pretty slick because you play 5 paradiddles, and then it switches over to the left hand. You can do the whole thing off the left, but there's a little math trick in here, and I want you to observe. Now, it doesn't matter how you count it. You can count it as 10 paradiddle diddles and 5 paradiddles, or you can also see that no matter what meter you take, if you're thinking about the pulse as being quarter notes, and you do sets of 3 eighth notes over and over again, you have to take 3 of your measures of music before you get back to 1. You'll see what I mean. It's written in the music. It makes a 4-bar phrase because I'm taking paradiddle diddles, and they're groups of 3 eighth notes. And we're going to play that over and over again till it ends up back on beat 1 of the 4th bar. Then we're going to play paradiddles, which will put us on our left hand. Music's down below. Check it out. Pretty slick trick. Okay, now you may say, what's that have to do with playing the drum set? And I would say, you're right, it's a real fancy. You don't want to go and take all the fanciest stuff that you have and try to put that on the drums. You want to be effective in something new. You take a very drumistic, if you will, approach. What we're going to do is go back and play a couple of examples of some basic fills, and then we'll even put the snare drum sort of stuff with the paradiddle diddles around just like that. I'll write it all out. Let's go check it out.